To me, the Knicks just they now profile me a little bit as a victim of what's happened the last week. Trade wise in the league, and they group them with pretty much every other Eastern Conference team that is in the Bucks and the Celtics. But a week ago, didn't it seem like the East was not up for grabs, but like you could see a Knicks, a Heat, Cavaliers or something like surprising one of those teams, where now those two teams, just the way that they both just bolstered up, it's like, I see another fourth, fifth, sixth seed for the Knicks and second round at most, and that's fine. That's a good season and everything, but like the East is not as wide open as it felt last week.
Can I say something that's a little
Counter
conventional? Yeah, a little against conventional.
Knicks are going to win the East. Say it now. Just put it on the record.
No, that's absolutely not what I was going to say.
Cavaliers are going to who?
I mean, I actually think the Cavs are going to be. I loved their summer. I thought their summer was great.
Great summer.
They didn't have a fifth guy for that first round playoff series against the Knicks, and they went out and they were like, we are addressing that. We're getting Jordan Yang and we're getting Max Strus.
Well, the whole lot you tease, I got to hear the other
okay.
thing. You got you down the Cleveland road.
I need a statement here. This needs to be a statement.
Okay. Here's my statement. Everyone's like, the East is okay. It's done. It's going to be one of two teams now. Really? We're just calling it because Boston has 6 good players, multiple of whom have serious health concerns. Like we're just calling it. We're calling it because Al Horford is a wonderful player and notoriously is in unbelievable shape all the time. He has also been playing in the league since like James Naismith invented the sport. Like Drew Holiday is a wonderful player, and I love Drew Holiday's game, but he's 33. He's 33 years old. Kristaps Porzingis was healthy last year.
And Naismith invented this game 37 years ago. I thought it was
37 years ago, Sam. Yeah, exactly. If it was before I was born, it was in the 19th century. That's how it works. All right. Kristaps Porzingis had a wonderful year last year in Washington, maybe the best year of his entire career, and he was great for them, and he stayed healthy. Is he going to stay healthy again? Like Boston is thin. They have 6 wonderful players, but are those 6 wonderful players actually going to be playing for 2 straight months? Like we're really just calling
Slater,
it
I don't think
now.
Fred wants
Boston's
to say
out.
it, but the undercurrent here is he does think the Knicks are going to win the East. I think
Milwaukee. No, you're going to make me pick Cleveland out of spite now. But Milwaukee,
we need you to go on record with an outrageous pick.
Milwaukee, meanwhile, I'm not knocking Milwaukee for the trade. I'd have made that trade 100%. That was a good trade for them. But it's not just like locked and loaded that it's going to be Milwaukee, because what happens if Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland walk into the backcourt and they're just like, okay, you know what? Milwaukee Bucks, you are banking on the fact that you have 2 phenomenal rim defenders in your front court, and they are going to cover up all the other guys' mistakes. And Giannis is fantastic defensively. And Brook Lopez had a great defensive season last year and is a wonderful paint protector. And those 2 guys will probably make up for a lot.
This is a real special guest.
We got another cameo?
Yeah, I am. It's a podcast. Actually, the same podcast you were on last week.
Oh, it's Mike Dunleavy Jr.
This is your gym. I heard this was the visitor's gym. Come on in. Yes. Would you like to put a hot take on air?
I got nothing.
Mike, 2 weeks in a row you're joining the pod? What's going on here?
You guys aren't doing it in person here.
We're not. Slater's pulling the duty. I know. Sorry.
Lazy.
Apparently I'm taking over his gym, so we're gonna cut this in about the next 10 minutes, and then you can get in here and get a lift in.
Might be back.
All right.
My take is coming on just in time for Mike Dunleavy. These other teams.
Mike just called us lazy, by the way. Let's just make sure that part gets highlighted.
Okay, fine. Then I'm diving even harder into this with even more energy and, Sam, as you would say, vigor. There are a lot of teams in the East with crazy offensive guard play, and they can just make jump shots over these rim protectors. What happens if Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell go nuts from 3 for a series? That's totally on the table. That's not some crazy out of pocket idea. Like those guys bomb in threes from 27 feet. That's like the only backcourt in the league where they have 2 guys who take threes from 5+ feet beyond the 3-point line. Like there are a lot of teams in the East with crazy guard play who could just take down that Milwaukee defense. And I'm not saying that it will happen or that Milwaukee and Boston shouldn't be the favorites, but I still think we should be talking about the East as wide open. Like, we should not be calling it for those two teams because those are extremely realistic ways both those teams could lose in the playoffs.
I think this is all self-preservation on Fred's part. He doesn't want to go to the Garden and have that reality that most games in the East don't matter because it's a two-team.
Trust me, Sam. I'd love a short summer or long summer. Long summer sounds wonderful.